Ready.
Cool. Well, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Rich Tomato podcast, the Tomato Sauce podcast. That's podcast for Rich Tomato.
Yeah.
Got it wrong the first time.
That's right.
Each week, Rich Tomato, us, Zach, Shane, myself, come to this table. We bring a topic each and we discuss it amongst ourselves.
Yeah. We do.
This week we're going to be discussing the Destiny Alpha.
Are we going to be talking about what our favourite games are and what some reasons are that they're not so great?
And I'll be discussing the Battlefield Hardline beta. If you want to choose a topic, it'll maybe be below. I don't know. I'll try that later.
We're trying a new thing because the last two were quite long. Okay, so the last two were quite long because we had to cover some E3 stuff. They won't usually be that long. They won't usually be that sort of like, painful to have to sit through. But we're trying to make it a bit more bite-sized, a little bit smaller. So we're going to try it with these annotations down here so you can click on whatever you want to watch. If you want to watch all of it, great. Just keep watching. If not, click on one of these.
Hope they're there.
So starting off, you want to start with the Destiny beta?
Alpha. Destiny. Well, I mean.
First look, Alpha.
So essentially, the Destiny Alpha that they released during E3, they sort of announced that we're gonna give out the Alpha to PlayStation 4 players first off, and I went and signed up immediately, and I ended up getting in a couple days in. First off, I just want to say the alpha isn't really an alpha. Like,
what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean it's much more reminiscent of a closed beta rather than an alpha.
Okay.
I've seen games in alpha that look a lot worse
and
play a lot worse than what they gave. What they gave us. So I think they, the word alpha that they used there was kind of just that sort of
exclusivity sort of thing.
Yeah.
I get the
they
feeling
just
of
wanted
that.
They just wanted to make people feel like they were really getting the early
access. An alpha sounds much more special than a beta.
Exactly.
But so, essentially, this is a closed beta, is it?
It was essentially a closed beta.
Or early access beta, I guess. Then.
An early access beta previous to the July 17th beta. That will be going live in a month's time.
It's a month. Yeah, not too far.
Just less than a month actually.
Is that for only consoles or PS4?
It is Destiny is a console-only game.
Oh, wasn't it?
At this point in time,
PlayStation platforms first.
PlayStation platforms first.
Yeah, that's right.
Since July 17,
and then
never comes to PC.
Probably.
They said that they were talking about making it come to PC, but nothing solid.
Okay, because that would just be the best game.
Did you want to maybe elaborate on what Destiny is?
Sure. Destiny is the newest game from the company who made Halo, Bungie.
Yeah.
So they made Halo 1, 2, and 3, and Reach.
And now they're not attached to the franchise anymore. So
no, they've sort of backed away from that. 343 Industries is taking over Halo, and now they're doing their own thing, and that has culminated into Destiny. So they spent a lot of money on this game. 500 million.
Jesus.
That
500 million was the estimated figure of the amount of money.
Where do they get the funding from?
Who knows? But obviously,
NASA?
Playing the game, it looks beautiful. There's huge amounts of lovely vistas, and the environments all look fantastic. The lighting's great. The textures look great. Obviously, lots and lots of work put into this game.
Runs pretty well.
The money, it's optimized really well for the consoles. It plays great. Did not notice that many frame rate drops. I mean, it was the alpha, but a few little frame rate drops here and there during big boss fights and lots of explosions and stuff like that. But mostly, it was really good. Everything was pretty steady. And essentially, Destiny is Halo with an RPG mechanic.
Okay.
An MMO.
In
an MMO world.
I wouldn't say MMO. I would rather say drop in, drop out multiplayer.
It seems like that.
With a hub.
I've seen a little video of it, and it almost seems like a journey sort of way of people dropping in.
It's exactly
just randomly drop in and then you play with them.
Yeah, and then or you come into an area and you'll see someone in that area as well, just randomly there, and you're just like, oh hey, but you don't have to stick together at all. You can just go off. And
it's just they happen to be there to add a little bit of spice to the world,
exactly. You won't see. I mean, when I was playing the game, I didn't see any more than 5 people in the one area
At the same time?
at the same time.
Okay, so you can have up to that many.
Yeah. Well,
up to 6, I think,
I
is
don't
it a
know.
party
I
or
think
something?
yes.
Well,
I
most
think
like
a
some
fire
missions,
team.
yeah.
A fire team is 1 to 3 players.
Okay.
Fire team being one, like it's supposed to be one of each class. There's 3 classes in the game. You got your Titan, your Warlock, and your Hunter, and they can all have subclasses as well. So you sort of specialize into what kind of Warlock you want to be or what kind of Hunter.
So
you want to
the
be.
game will try and make up that fire team.
Yeah, the game will try and matchmake you with other people, so you can have that proper
three-class
dynamic. going on.
dynamic.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
That's
So
pretty
you've
cool.
got your Titan who takes a lot of the damage and throws his rocket launchers everywhere, and you've got the Hunter who sort of sits back and picks off a lot of the enemies, and the Warlock who's just throwing his magic balls all
space
over
magic.
the place.
A space wizard.
So with the
Ooh,
alpha, the alpha contained 1 story mission, 1 explore area, so you could explore Old Russia, which is Old Russia being the area that they've been showing off the most with a lot of their gameplay demos from previous E3s and that sort of thing. So you've got the area of Old Russia to explore. You've got 1 story mission within Old Russia that you can do, and you can replay that as many times as you like. And it also has PvP. So I got to play the control PvP, which essentially is domination. You've got the 3 points, and you have to try and capture them.
That's pretty cool.
Gain momentum, earn your points, and they're constantly under under stress with the other team.
Like infantry, or is that vehicles?
Yeah,
and stuff?
there were 2 maps with the control. The first one was Rusted Lands, which takes place in Old Russia, and that's infantry only. Very small, tight-knit kind of space, lots of small corridors and closed-off areas, which made for some really interesting choke points and gunplay happening, like on stairs and in small little areas like that. And the second map was First Light, which takes place on the moon's surface. So you go onto the moon, and that one actually did have vehicles because
cool.
it was a bit more of an open area kind of space. The control points are more spaced out, and you could summon your own vehicle, because that's something that you can do in the game. You can sort of touch your touchpad and summon your little hover bike. You can sort of ride around that. But they also spawned a couple of other vehicles. Essentially, they are the Ghost from Halo and the Wraith.
Oh, really?
Halo.
Okay, good.
Those are the essential.
Sticking with what they know?
Again, sticking with what they know, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
It works with Halo, right? So, the gunplay is exactly like Halo.
Yeah?
Yeah, exactly like Halo. You got the tight,
So
accurate shooting that you got. As long as you fire a bullet within that small little circle around the middle of the screen, you're gonna get that shot every single time. There's no accuracy difference with games like Counter-Strike, for instance, where you're trying to control
recoil patterns,
recoil, and all that sort of stuff. It's very, very tight and controlled with the gunplay, which is exactly like Halo. Again, vehicles, the overall presence of the game, the enemies even are exactly like the Covenant and the Flood
really
from Halo.
So what you're saying is like
Fallen in your Hive.
they just like copied Halo and then just used 500 million.
Well,
I think like
from what I've seen so far,
okay.
It's very Halo-esque.
I mean, you can expect that from Bungie. Like, you can expect them to like stick to what they know and make something that's really polished with what works.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like it's got to be that close to Halo. Like,
well,
what are they spending all the money on?
Yeah, well, like they've got this RPG system in there, which is one of the things that is obviously differing a bit from the Halo pattern. So. The RPG system is a lot like Borderlands in some respects. You got your procedurally generated weapons, but you also got your gear as well, which is also procedurally generated.
Okay.
Procedurally generated in terms of stats, not so much appearance. Appearance is all preset kind of stuff.
To class.
But to class, and the different types of helmets and armor that you get. It's all pre-made, it's all pre-textured, everything.
Okay.
But the stats are all procedurally generated, so you get different defense points, different stats every time. Same thing with weapons.
Okay.
So they got that going on, and I think that's what they're really gonna aim to sort of push players to want to keep playing the game. Is obviously that MMO grind where you want to keep getting the better piece of gear. You want to keep getting that better weapon.
Yeah.
You want to go do the strike mission so you can defeat the boss and possibly get the drop that you've been looking for the whole time. That sort of thing. So they've thrown that in there, and they've also got they've got a lot more PvP modes. From what I saw in the menu, only Control was available, but there were about 5 other PvP modes sort of sitting there, which you couldn't scroll over. It didn't tell you anything about them. It just gave you icons. Okay. So they're obviously looking to make PvP, otherwise known as the Crucible, quite prolific in the game, because you get like unique Crucible gear and reputation, which you can spend on customizing your character and all that sort of thing.
So it's got a lot of MMO elements in there as well.
Yeah, it's got a lot of MMO, because it obviously wants to join players around the world together. It's trying to blur the lines between single player and multiplayer, where people can just drop into your game, you play with them, public event happens, oh no, big giant tank, I can't take that on by myself. 4 other players just drop into the event, they're like, yeah, we'll help you out, then you share the spoils, and then you go on your own way again, that sort of thing. So yeah, they from what I played, it was a very enjoyable experience. The gunplay was great. The enemy AI, although similar to Halo, was still fun to play with. You had your little AI companion, Ghost, Peter Dinklage,
voiced by Peter Dinklage.
Which I might say he seems kind of unenthused.
Yes. Yeah, I heard that.
The on
his
topic,
role.
I guess, by who was it? The guy from Gearbox. I can't remember his name.
Randy?
A guy?
Yeah, Randy Pitchford, is that his name?
Randy Pitchford?
Yeah, he made a comment saying that it's not too late for Bungie to rework the Peter Dinklage voiceover, saying it's not enough, I guess, character in it.
Yeah, it's very flat.
That's what
his delivery as Ghost, the AI companion, is very just. There's no emotion.
Yeah.
And I know that it's supposed to be an AI construct that just sort of hangs around you and helps you, but what made Cortana so great was the fact that they threw that emotion in there with
I think with Cortana, they gave her a physical
gave her a physical appearance, obviously, to make players connect with her more, and they gave her that emotion towards Master Chief and all that sort of thing.
I guess it goes down to like why they made that hire. Like, did they make it for Peter Dinklage to seem familiar to players who want to buy it, or did they make it because they think Peter Dinklage is a good voice actor?
I think maybe
I'm
sure maybe that extra pull.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a good voice actor. It's just like
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, and people are going to instantly recognize him. But is that recognition being valued over his actual ability? Like, are they telling him, "Oh, just sound like Tyrion"? Does it sound like that?
No. Well, I mean,
like when I first started playing it, I didn't really realize it was Peter Dinklage until like my roommate came and was like, "You know who voices Ghost?" I was like, I know it sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I couldn't put it like pinpoint it and say, "Oh, it's Peter Dinklage." Like, "Oh, really?" And then I listened to him and he's like,
Oh, yeah. So it's far enough removed, but it's still like you can pick up on it.
He kind of has a sort of robotic overtone on his voice.
Okay, like an auto-tune.
He's not a heavy, nowhere near a heavy auto-tune, but like you can still like some of his sentences you can just pick up a slight sort of robotic-y
like a
kind
metallic sort of tang.
A metallic tang to his voice. So obviously they touched him up. They tried to make him seem more AI-like, but
what you're saying is
it's extremely Halo-like. You've got that AI companion that's following you around and telling you what to do and that sort of thing, opening doors for you. You got to protect him while he's opening the door and shoot all the enemies, that sort of thing. So again, it is essentially Halo with an RPG mechanic and a drop-in, drop-out multiplayer. So And again, that's nowhere near a bad thing because Halo is arguably a hallmark shooter.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to make a first-person shooter game, Halo would be a great place to start.
Halo is one of the ones that
build
kickstarted it.
Yeah.
Kickstarted the whole FPS.
So, yeah, all in all, I did enjoy my time with Destiny, and I am going to enjoy my time with Destiny when it comes out.
Yeah, sure.
Level cap being level 20.
Was it
Not
really?
quite sure.
Is that for the whole game?
That's for the whole game.
Yeah.
The level cap is level 20. Not quite sure how they're going to keep the longevity of the game
because
going.
I played the alpha as well. I mean, like I reached the level cap on 2 different characters.
Yeah.
In what?
It's
The level cap was level 8.
Yeah.
Level
Okay.
8 during the alpha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it
And
ramps up.
It was quite
really,
easy.
really.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
I think what they did actually make a statement on why they kept the level cap so low, and it was because they wanted players to sort of
try and create other class. Or?
they wanted players to get to that point, to all get to that same sort of power point quite quickly, and get to the end game content and get to all the stuff that they want to deliver, and get like the players all in that one power state, quite quickly.
Okay.
So everyone gets to enjoy being an all-powerful guardian with you.
I think I can see. I can see why they did that because, like, if you reach level 20 faster, it means maybe I'm feeling a bit tired of the single player. Maybe I want to jump into PvP. If you're low level while you feel like that, you're just going to jump into PvP and get stomped, and not going to be very happy
but
about it.
I think they do cap PvP levels for lower level.
They normalize it?
I'm pretty sure. Actually, no. Thinking about it now, different PvP. I'm assuming this, by the way. Different PvP matches have level advantages turned on and off.
Okay.
So I noticed with the control match type, it sort of tells you what kind of modes are disabled and enabled,
really?
and it said
I didn't notice that.
level advantages disabled.
Okay, so when you
I
level,
don't
do you
think-
just get more damage and health?
I
that
mean, I think it's pretty arbitrary with the amount of levels. So you also get with more levels, you get more skills that you can use, and you get more different types of grenades, that sort of thing. But your level advantage over other players, the amount of health that you have, the amount of damage, base damage that you deal, is that's null.
Yeah,
So,
okay, cool.
but
That's good.
it might be different for different game types. Because if they have that as an option, then clearly it could be turned off.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, even with this level 20 thing, they could even they might even have like a prestige system, and that could just do something
maybe.
to it.
I think
I don't know.
instead of prestige, what they're doing is there's different factions in the game. So you have like I can't quite remember all the factions of the game, but you have your Future War cultists, I think, and then like a couple other factions, and you earn reputation for those factions while you while you play the game, and if you sport their gear during things like the Crucible and maybe single player as well, you earn reputation with that faction, and you can earn more things through that faction.
So you're grinding rep.
Yeah, grinding rep. But the thing is like keeping the level cap low means you don't have to grind your experience for your level at the same time as trying to grind rep. So like I think they're just trying to keep the grinding down to a minimum in terms of level, but still having that rep
extra
grind.
content there.
Yeah, having that extra content that you can grind for without feeling like you're not progressing in terms of level.
Okay,
and all that sort of
so they want players to get to like a power level fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Like to get like to an optimal
They
state.
want all guardians to be at the optimal state fairly quickly in the game. So after a few hours of playing the game, 3 to 4 hours, you're pretty much level capped, and you may or may not have done most of the story missions. I don't know how long the story is.
Okay.
I feel like it's going to be really
But
long.
I hope it is. I hope like at some point when you are at level 20 and it says this is a level 20 mission, I hope that's not the end.
Oh no!
Because I hope like they just have like
Random
story
other
missions
missions.
from then
Yeah,
on
sure.
require you to.
Well, I
be
think if
level
it's
20.
like in terms of an MMO, you have your main storyline, but there's always the many side quests. And like playing the Alpha, like there was always those slew of like tiny, like they weren't very creative side missions, like go collect this stuff,
kill these enemies
kill these things,
that
like,
drop this thing. Yeah.
So
The
I think
classic
that's
sort of
where that
MMO
MMO
quest.
type of gameplay comes into. Like, there's a slew of side quests, probably never-ending side quests for this
Yeah,
game.
they don't end. They're
Exactly.
always
So
there.
I mean, like, but yeah, the main story, the big story missions will. I mean, I'm guessing strike missions, the 1 to 3 man teams.
Yeah.
So I imagine they will be like always going.
Interesting thing though, I was in a strike mission with 2 other people, and there was another guy in our area who wasn't part of our strike team.
Did he help
was
you
just
guys
there. Yeah, and he helped us out.
Cool.
Like, so even though strike missions are intended for 1 to 3 players, and they matchmake you and they throw you in there, other people obviously can still sort of just rock in there and be like, oh hey guys, I'm doing my own thing, but I can help you kill these guys anyway while you guys go off and do your own objective, and I've got mine.
Yeah, okay.
So there's a lot of versatility in what they've created with the framework that they have, and I think it's going to be enjoyable.
Yeah, good.
In the end.
Just with the level system, I'm not quite sure if that's completely necessary. Like, if they just make it that like you reach your full power level once you complete the story mode, like, I'd think that'd be enough, and you wouldn't need to bother with
I think you need a
system.
level system though, like in games like that, like when you, so they give you the sense of grinding is worth something, I guess.
Yeah.
Like and in any MMO or even an RPG, grinding.
If you've got some kind of RPG system, levels within that is usually a staple. And like, it's kind of hard to break the mold with that. A few games have tried it. Games like The Secret World, which is an MMO made by Funcom, same guys who did Age of Conan. They tried to make an MMO without levels.
Oh, okay.
So as you progress through the game, you kind of just earned more clothing that didn't do any extra effects, but just sort of made you look unique and stand out.
Sure. So that's the layer of reward. It's not like extra level number. It's extra looking good. It's
extra looking good and points with which you can customize your character.
Okay.
So like they had a big sort of skill tree wheel kind of a thing.
Okay, so it's all
which
skill
you could
tree
spend.
based.
Yeah. It was pretty much all skill tree based. You could spend your points as you like sort of did new things and earned those points. You could spend them on your skills and try and sort of make a character that you want to make, but without any of that level kind of stuff.
Okay.
So
it's good.
It was interesting, but I don't think the Secret World succeeded in general.
Yeah.
There's a few players, there's a few people who are still playing the Secret World. Plus, it's free to play now. So
really?
To go, yeah.
Give it a shot.
But yeah.
Speaking of, it's free to play. I'm assuming you think Destiny will be free to play. There's not going to be a subscription fee for it. Do you think?
No, it'll be free to play.
Nice.
You buy the game and you got it.
Take that, ESO.
And the only thing is you'll need PlayStation Plus to play online PvP and that sort of thing.
Can you just play
as well as the strike missions?
So you need PlayStation Plus.
You'll need PlayStation Plus to match.
Without Plus, you can just play the normal.
Yeah,
story.
without Plus, you can play the game single player just fine.
Sure.
Okay. You just won't have the extra PvP and matchmaking.
Yeah,
that's fair enough.
If I'm going to pick up Destiny, I might as well just get a Plus, just to get the entire.
Well, I think they brought out Sony announced a bundle at E3, which is
Plus and Destiny.
You get a white PlayStation 4.
You get a white Glacier, white PlayStation 4 and controller with Destiny and the 30-day.
The 30-day.
PlayStation Plus trial. So
did they release like a number, like how much it would be?
I think it's
already for pre-order at EB.
I think it's the same price. As
500 something.
Yeah, 500 or 550.
I have the money by then. I'm getting that.
September.
Yeah.
So September.
Well, say with Destiny, did you only play as the one class, or did you?
I did only play as the one class because
that was the hunter.
Yeah, just the hunter. I was thinking about playing the other classes and seeing what they were like, but then I realized that like other than different skills and different supers, it's essentially the same because you can use any weapon no matter what class you are. So your gunplay is going to be exactly the same, just depending on what kind of
Gun you have.
what kind of play style you want to adopt. If you want to be a sniper or if you want to be a close range guy, so you can have a shotgun.
Yeah,
even
it's
if you're
true.
a hunter.
And you have
Okay.
a sniper as well, yeah.
But with the Titan, you've got your charge super. With your warlock, you've got your magic super.
Yeah.
So I know what they're already like anyway.
Sure.
Because they got used on me in PvP, which is really annoying. But other than that, the different things would probably be your grenade types
And the
and
skills,
your melee move, and that's
Okay.
about it.
Yeah. So you might as well play with what you want to play. And,
Yeah, I mean, I played the hunter and I got to level cap, and I pretty much just played PvP from then on because that's what I enjoy is competitive first person shooter. So
Can you have a rocket launcher as a hunter?
yeah, you can
You
have
have
any
weapons.
weapon
You can have heavy
as
weapons. Yeah,
as
everyone can have
whatever
anything.
class. You
Okay.
can have anything. Your gear is specific to your class.
Okay,
But
so like
again,
light, medium, heavy armor.
Yeah,
Sort of thing.
Well,
No,
essentially,
it's
it's just like class.
Yeah, class based armor.
Oh, okay.
So you have your Titan armor, you have your Hunter armor, and you have your Warlock armor.
Yeah.
But depending on whatever class you are, you never
Picking up
pick up or earn
Yeah. Someone else's stuff.
someone else's armor.
Yeah.
You're always going to have your own.
Okay.
So you never run into that problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a strike team, you'd always we would never have,
Yeah,
have to have some
the loot is
dispute.
no,
Yeah.
the loot is specific
to
to,
the
Okay.
to you. It's instance for everyone, so everyone
Yeah.
gets
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Which is a good loot system, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
it's definitely good.
It's always annoying in like MMOs
hiding.
or RPGs getting the
No fighting over anything.
getting someone else's stuff. If you're not friends, it's like, oh, I picked up like awesome warlock
Yeah,
and I'm
and
a
then
hunter.
they just
It's like,
log out, and then
they'll
you're
all
like,
trade you a million coins or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever the currency in it's the currency in Destiny. There's a currency
Glimmer.
system. Glimmer, that's it. Yeah.
Glimmer is the main currency, and then you've got your marks that you earn through different factions and, and reputation. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I got to see in the Destiny Alpha.
Yep.
And
Did you buy it?
Yeah, well, I've already pre-ordered it.
Oh,
So
well, yeah.
did you do the PlayStation pre-order or preloads or like install?
Just install.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I enjoyed my time with Destiny, and I look forward to playing it in the beta and when it comes out in September 9th.
Like just to stay on Destiny a little bit, like that was Zach's topic, but I played the alpha as well, and I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. I got to play Hunter and Titan, which is the one that can jump up and charge and stuff, whatever.
Melee class.
No,
Not really.
Okay.
It has like a special melee move
Yeah, the supers are kind of the only thing that
that distinguishes each
distinguishes each
Okay.
class.
Right.
class.
Other than that,
I found like the Hunter is your basic, like really this super was just like you pull out a pistol and it has like one shot
yeah, one shot kill.
or like high damage anyway.
Yeah.
The Titan was the like kinetic jump thing and like a special melee. But I enjoyed I capped the Titan as well. I probably enjoyed playing as the Titan more than I did the Hunter.
Okay.
But at the same time, the weapons, exactly the same. Didn't really matter. But just being able to do that jump and
Yeah.
blow up everyone.
The
around
supers would be the only thing that you sort of
Okay.
you think about, like, oh, what class do I want to be? I want to be the one that charges
Does
in
that,
and just
yeah.
does that move, so I'll pick Titan.
Yeah.
So there's like a move that's specific, a few skills that's specific, a grenade that's specific, and
I guess the skills you can unlock are specific as well.
Yeah.
okay, and the look that's specific
Yeah.
to class.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's reason enough to have a class system, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it'll work. Like I had no hype, no expectations of this game. Like when they announced Destiny, like tangent, I guess, but like I was so over like the first-person shooter genre.
Yeah.
Like, I played Ghosts a bit, and like I'm so over this.
Yeah.
But then like having played the alpha for Destiny, I'm just like I can't wait for this game. I don't think I'll talk about Battlefield like later, but I mean like I don't think I've played a first-person shooter that I've really wanted to play in a while. I think it's because of those like RPG MMO elements that makes you want to stay because it has those elements. It's not like a standard story line.
It's got that feedback that
Yeah,
you just want
exactly.
to keep,
So I think
keep going
that's
with
going to work so well in Destiny's favor. Like, it's not a one-stage shooter; it's a prolonged,
Yeah.
long-term
it.
game.
They keep you in the loop.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're done with Destiny?
Yeah, we're done with
Yep,
Destiny.
done with
Do you want to
Destiny.
go on with Hardline, or you want me to start with?
No, we'll go to yours.
Okay, cool.
go in order.
Yeah, my idea for a topic this week was basically I wanted to go around the table, ask them their favourite games and their worst parts of them. Just like, for whatever reason, the part of their favourite game that they didn't like as much and why I think that is. So, if you want, I can just start.
Sure.
Alright.
I didn't think of my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah.
games.
Give me time, guys, time to think
Yeah,
of it.
well, you go ahead.
My favourite game is Okami, made by Clover Studios. Yeah, made by Clover Studios a little while ago on the PS2. It's like my favourite game. Just everything about it. I love the aesthetic. I love the gameplay. They're very solid. I liked the length of the game. It was such a journey through it. Like, okay, the way that Okami is paced is that like there's this one boss which is introduced at the very start. You beat it, and then you've only done 25% of the game. Then you got to keep going and going and going. Like, I think I racked up like 64 hours for the main storyline.
Heaps.
It's crazy, crazy
good.
long.
For a PS2 game back in there, that's...
And it looks so
I
good.
mean, that was actually kind of the norm with Japanese RPGs
Yeah.
back in the day. You
They
had
really-
Was that coming
like
out
60
RPG?
plus
Was it?
hours.
I thought it was more of just like an adventure.
It is an RPG. You collect things and use items and
Okay.
stuff like that.
I only
It's
played it like a
currency.
little
I
bit.
mean-
I never played it as much.
Yeah.
It's not like XP or anything, but like you unlock
Sure.
new instruments and stuff used in battle and different game mechanics. And I think Hideki Kamiya was at the helm of that. He was like one of the main designers, and he always does a really good job. But yeah, that's my favorite game. My least favorite part of it is something that happens to a lot of Japanese RPGs and also Kamiya games, which is replaying, like reshuffling content. So basically, at the last level of Okami, you have to fight every boss you ever fought again. So just think about that for a second.
What a
It was a
kick in
game.
the teeth.
It was a game that I just played.
I thought I beat you guys.
Yeah. It was a game I just played for 64 hours, and then suddenly I have to play all the bosses I've fought against since that time again, and then the final boss is unlocked. So that was a bit of a kick in the pants and made me rage a little bit. But you know, at the power level that I was at, it wasn't as hard, but it was still annoying to have to do it all over again.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's something that Kamiya's done as well with Bayonetta to a lesser extent.
Oh, they're doing Bayonetta.
Yeah, they recycle a lot of the levels. Like, now you're in this level, but now it's on fire, and now there's 3 angels here instead of 2, and you're like small incremental improvements to a level, not improvements, but like additions. And they try and pass off as new content. Like, I get that backtracking is a good thing to sort of like recycle content, but doing it to this extent, and you know, barring progress unless you do it, that's not a big fan of that. So that was one of the downsides to me.
Did he also do the Wonderful 101?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was his.
Again, another game that suffered from that.
Yeah? I didn't play that. Tell me about it.
Well, it's
Was
just,
on Wii, wasn't it?
yeah,
Wii
it
U.
was Wii U. Yeah, that's right. Again, it was just recycled content throughout the game.
Yeah.
To try and stretch along the
Longevity.
to try and give the game more longevity.
Yeah.
They just sort of recycled the same enemies and the same bosses.
Yep.
And you just start thinking to yourself, well, you know, what's the point?
Someone in this. It's a very Japanese thing to do, I think. There's not a lot of Western games which, you know, keep a lot of recycling in it.
When you say Japanese, I think instantly Mario.
Yeah?
Mario is like, I recently replayed Mario 3D Land on 3DS. Essentially, when you get to like the secret state, like you have world 1 to 8, and then once you finish that, you unlock like super world 1 to 8.
Oh, yeah.
And it's essentially
It's the same.
thing, but with like minor tweaks to it. Again, like they put a timer on the level, or they add like a
The small things
that change
increase
it.
the challenge.
Yeah, and increase the
slightly.
difficulty, but it's essentially the same level or the same environment, a lot of same things used. But yeah, it's essentially the same game or same level.
Yeah.
So I can understand when they do that, they reuse the stuff, but they add something to it. If it's worth it though.
Yeah, yeah. Like, there's a game that I played, an RPG on PC and Xbox 360 called The Last Remnant, and that does that well.
Yeah.
It what it does is it just adds, it gives you the same enemies as you fought maybe a few levels ago, but it gives them entirely new abilities and entirely new synergies that they can use with the high level enemies that you're now fighting. For example, there's like this little weak little like a fly which injects you with poison as like its main attack, and then like maybe 10 levels later you'll fight the same fly, but it has leveled up with you, but not in the terms of like raw power. It's leveled up in terms of it's got a shit ton of new things at its disposal. It can now paralyze you, and if it's fighting with another specific enemy in the same area, then it can do like a tandem attack, which like blacks out your whole party and stuff like that. So like it's not just an increase of power; it's an increase of like ability and gameplay mechanics to have to fight around it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's a really good way of doing it, and that's very justified in recycling content. But the game I'm talking about Okami does not do that. I mean, but it's only this one point. All the rest of it was gold, and it didn't like it didn't recycle much at all. But then this one point, fight every enemy you've ever fought. It made sense within the story because the whole story was you're banishing these spirits back to this evil place, and you're actually in the evil place now. So you're going back into their home where you sent them. So I get that you have to fight them again, but I don't want to have to do that.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's mine.
Just to go like on Okami, I guess like when you verse have a different boss up until this last boss.
Yeah.
This
last boss room.
So the last boss room has all of the bosses, or do you
Yeah.
verse them again individually?
Individually. So like this big, there's this big room with like a massive corridor, and you walk out each bridge to each boss.
Can you do them in any order?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
So it's just like this
Jeez.
big room saying, look, we want to expand the lifestyle, like the.
I want to give you like an extra
game.
3 hours of gameplay versus every boss again or something.
It took maybe an hour or two
Yeah.
all up. But still, that was an hour or two that I could have spent finishing the game, which I was very ready to do. Like, it had been a good 60 plus hours of the game. And I wanted to beat the big bad. I wanted to fight the, Yami, which is the final boss, which is one of my favorite boss fights of all time.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get there unless I beat all these other stuff.
So I guess like when you're saying that just quickly, so if you were ready to finish the game, you say.
Yeah.
So with that addition of an hour and a half gameplay, did that like tarnish the game overall? You're saying it's your favorite game.
It is my favorite game.
But like, did that make it bittersweet in the end? Like, I really love this game, but because of this, like,
There's like a point in games where you just go, oh, really? Yeah, that was that game's point,
Okay.
I think. Like, it didn't tarnish it overall because it made sense within the story, and like, it wasn't like the bosses weren't particularly fun to fight. Like, they were satisfying to beat and stuff like that. It's just like, when you're faced with all the content you've just beaten, and you have to do it all over again, there's just some sort of like, oh, really? That you have
Just
to...
that frustration.
Yeah, I had been playing that game when I first picked it up, like maybe 12 hours a day, because I was just so engrossed in it and trying to finish this huge game. I got to that point, it was like early in the morning, it was maybe like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'd woken up and I'd started playing the game, and I got to that point, I'm like, I'll just take a day break from the game. just because I wanted to play new stuff, and this is just the first thing I'm pretty to. Like, I'm not saying it's like such a bad thing. It's just it was just that one part of the game which not let me down, just sort of like I just explained. But like, I beat that, and then I fought the last boss, and the ending was beautiful, and it was the best game I ever played. So it didn't tarnish it overall. It was just that one moment of why.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Zach, would you like to go next? I still can't think of my favourite game.
Yeah, I'll go next.
If you can't think of a favourite game, just like any really good game you've played recently, which has an example of it.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to say one of my favourite games. I'm not sure about my absolute favourite, but one of my favourite games back in the day was a PS2 game called The Mark of Cree.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
That was the
I've
one with the Maori guy.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Probably one of the more brutal games that I played. But,
That's what I remember
back
about it.
when I was a whippersnapper, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so much fun just being able to stab and slice the hell out of like all these other dudes.
What would you
trying
compare
do
it
the same
to,
thing.
like games these days?
Well, I would compare the combat to Arkham Asylum and Arkham City.
Nice.
Yeah.
Much like, because when you come into an area and you do your scouting with your little raven buddy who you could like send up in a tree and sort of view the world through his eyes, and you could spy.
Like Detective Mode.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
and you
cool.
could spy like who's going to be the guy who sets off the alarm, and who's going to be like the big brute or something that you want to like sort of take down first.
Oh, I had no
after
idea
that
it was
guy.
like this.
So you had that sort of planning tactic stage beforehand. Only in some areas. There's some other areas like you just had to sort of run in head first and just give it a go. But yeah, so you had your enemy priorities, the ones that you wanted to take out first, and then you go in there, and they would all pop out, and they'd surround you, and you could sort of seamlessly strike from one enemy to the other with your sword. And
That's
you could
impressive.
change up your weapon
For a
at any
PS2 game,
time.
was it?
For a PS2 game, and it was so great. And you could like swing with your axe and cleave people in half, and just like the most brutal moves ever. And then you get them to a certain point. This is where it kind of deviated from Batman, but you get them to a certain point with their health, and then a little symbol appeared above their head
God
with
of War
the
quick time
corresponding. Yeah, pretty much. So it then becomes God of War, where you press a button, and then once you grab them, you could put in a button combination, and that would do a different
Yeah.
takedown.
Okay.
move.
Nice, cool.
So the button combinations weren't spelled out to you. You kind of had to sort of
Figure it out.
Could you just
Figure
one
them out
Could you just
for
make one
yourself.
up? Would it do something?
No, like there were specific ones. Again, like my memory's kind of hazy because
Sure,
it's
sure.
been a very long time since I played it. But I'm pretty sure there was like if you didn't press a certain button, it would just go to like the default one.
Okay.
But you'd sort of mess around and experiment and try different button combinations.
Was it
and
better
you'd
if
get,
you
like,
got one of those button
So,
combinations?
well, I mean, it was just
Visually
more
memorable.
satisfying
Okay.
and brutal to
Yeah.
watch. You'd like stab the guy 3 times and then kick him away from your sword
Okay,
and he'd fly off, or like cut his head off, that sort of thing.
Yeah, good.
So it was. Yeah, the combat was fantastic. The story was great. I loved the story.
The aesthetic
about,
was also
like,
pretty good.
Yeah, the aesthetic, the sort of, I loved the loading screens before each story. How like it would draw in the characters and the setting.
Yeah, I remember
and
that
sort of
now.
Melt into
I wasn't
the
sure if I
gameplay.
played this game before, but
And
now I
was
know I
like,
have.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
it was so awesome to
Yeah.
watch. And yeah, the story itself was great as well. You had that necromancer guy who was trying to get you to get all these things for him, and then he could raise the dead, and he turns out he betrays you. That that old chestnut, but it's a good chestnut to use, especially with a story where you got like a big bad guy who just wants to cleave everything into, and he gets used by the other bad guy to sort of do his whim, and then you got that redemption story where
Yeah.
you got to sort of say.
Cool.
Try and redeem yourself for all your wrongdoings. So yeah, it was a great game.
Well, now
Absolutely loved
what's
it.
wrong with it then?
I was trying to think of that earlier. What's wrong with it? There's a few things about it that kind of like as the game progressed, you kind of saw the pattern emerge. Again,
Okay.
it's kind of similar to the whole.
Rehashing content.
Rehashing content. Except I'm not sure if I want to say that though, because again, it's been a long time since I played it, and I know for a fact that each level of the game was a wildly different environment.
That's cool.
And new enemies introduced, new weapons introduced.
But the
new
strategies
ways
were the
to
same?
kill. The strategies, the way the game was played was still quite similar. You'd go in, you'd target the enemies, and then you'd press the corresponding buttons to slash them and slice them, and
Yeah.
then you'd do your takedowns. You also had your silent takedowns and that sort of stuff. But again, it was just going through the level, killing the guys to reach the end of the level.
Okay.
That was essentially it. So, I mean, the game did that well, but sometimes you look for that little extra in a mechanic that you wanted to do something,
Yeah.
something a little more exploratory, where you just want to do something slightly different from just hacking
Yeah,
and slashing
I
your
can see
way
that.
through. But that being said, I still thoroughly enjoyed that game. Still remains as one of my favorites of all time, and definitely a precursor to that sort of Batman,
That sort of Batman
free-flow
game. Wow.
combat system.
Let's see what the devs were of that.
Yeah.
It would be funny if it was.
I had
It
a
would be
look
funny
the
if it was
other
like WB or something. Like that.
Yeah. One of
I thought it
those.
was for some reason like Sony Santa Monica is coming into my head.
Oh, really?
But I'm
Seems like God of War
not
people.
sure. I'm not sure.
Look it up later.
When in the PS2 cycle did this game? Or when did you play in the PS2
PS2 cycle.
Like
I
how
think
late?
it's like it's just
Pretty
mid.
mid, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's that?
It was kind of a
2003?
sort of subtle release.
Yeah.
Not many people heard about it.
It wasn't like a
or
big title
played it.
release, yeah.
No, it wasn't
It
a big
released
title
around
release.
Akami, I'd say.
But it was
around there.
I know Akami came after.
Yeah?
Definitely after.
Okay. This
Because
is
I
quite a-
was playing Mark Cree back when I was in England.
Oh, wow.
So this was like
from
2002,
England?
2003.
Yeah, okay.
Akami came out.
04 or
I'm
5?
pretty sure
I'm gonna say 04
when
or
I
5.
was here in Australia, so that's 2004.
Okay, right, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Akami came out like 2004, 2005. something
Yeah,
like
right.
that. But Mark Cree was definitely an earlier game
Yeah.
in the PS2 life cycle. But about mid through the PS2 life cycle, and it was great. It was fantastic. And
Yeah.
if you ever get a chance to play it, I do recommend it. Give it a go. It's a lot of fun, and it was really good.
Cool.
Awesome.
So you reckon if the game was maybe a bit shorter, it wouldn't have had that problem?
Well, again, this is the thing. It's been so long since I played it. I'm pretty sure the length of the game
Was pretty good.
Was fine.
It was just not enough variation to
yeah,
make it
like
perfect.
I'm kind of grasping at straws here. It's just
okay.
trying to figure out something that irked me about the game.
Okay, yeah.
But overall, like, super enjoyable experience. Great levels. Great ways to kill people.
Just a little bit more spice of variety.
Yeah,
and it would be perfect.
maybe a little bit more variety. Vehicle sections would be great. Kidding. But it's
Batmobile.
something like
Yeah.
that. But overall,
Pre-built.
fantastic game.
All right,
Cool.
great.
Just to me.
Yeah.
And I am really struggling to think of one of my favorite games.
Yeah?
I don't know. I just can't. I have a lot of games I really like, and I know I sunk heaps of time into. But at the same time, I can't think of one like I really like. It's like this is what not defines me, I guess, but like why I like.
What about just one of the more recent games you played that you really liked and then found a big flaw with?
I guess Watch Dogs is one of the more recent games I've been playing.
Okay.
Watch Dogs, if you don't know, essentially future Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, modern day,
guns.
modern day Assassin's Creed.
hacking.
Yeah, with hacking. Like the thing for me with, I guess I'll use Watch Dogs as my example. But with Watch Dogs, I guess the gameplay's fine. It's fun, but the bland side missions. You've played a bit of it. Like the bland side missions are just like make me not want to platinum it, but I'm going to try platinum it.
So have you completed the story?
I finished the main story, and that was weak as piss. That was so,
Weak as piss?
It's really weak.
Yeah, like the actual
It's just
story.
it's not
disappointing.
it's just not as
It was a
like
game. that I
Aiden is
wanted
such a
to-
weak character,
Yeah.
and he's just like his motivations are very typical of any. One good thing I guess, because since it's not actually like he has to. Not too many spoilers, but like he's got to try to protect his family or whatever.
Yep.
But they're not his wife or his kid; they're his like sister's
sister
kid, and it's his sister and like so,
Okay.
so his sister and his nephew.
Like, I get that he would care, but like there's not that much.
But at the same time, that's what makes it, I guess, not more believable, but like more realistic. Like why he would go about killing these people. Because like when you think of like GTA, like Michael, he's got a family,
And it's his
and his family's fucked.
Yeah.
Like on drugs, his daughter's a slut, and his wife's a cheating bitch. But like when you think about it, if you wouldn't do these things knowing you have a family to take care of. And then like in GTA 5, like spoilers, the game's been out for a year. But,
You've had your chance.
Yeah.
it's like they obviously go off away while he hangs out with Trevor and tries to fix everything. So I think like Aiden's characters makes more sense at why he would go about like his motivations to like kill
Okay.
people. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it has a more realistic twist,
Yeah.
I guess, because like
GTA was always like on the edge of realism, but always want to be a little bit more goofy, a little bit more like non.
Which is why I succeeded so much.
Yeah.
yeah, like to be honest, I'm not like tangent. Like I'm not really excited for GTA 5 on PS4 and Xbox One, just because I played it already. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
why I
the
would
same
need to play
game.
I
it.
haven't played it yet.
I do know that they're adding a few
Yeah, like
new things, like updated weather system apparently.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of similar to Watch Dogs with low hanging clouds and that sort
all
of
the
thing.
dynamic stuff.
More
Yeah.
animals
Yeah,
in
sure.
the game. I'm fairly sure, like dogs and cats, kind of strong
With extra
suits.
hardware, they can add more stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's like what they wanted to do with GTA 5, they can now
Properly
do with
do, yeah.
it with the next gen systems.
I like-
Just add that
like-
extra immersion.
We kind of said
into the
this
game.
in the post E3. Like, I think a lot of people always expected this to happen, like a
Yeah.
next gen version,
Yeah,
or current
of
gen
course.
version of.
I kind of wish they
GTA 5.
announced their new project though, Rockstar. They did.
Red Dead 2.
Yeah, Red Dead
Oh
2.
man,
Or
please.
Bully 2, please.
Oh, Bully 2. Yeah.
Please.
But yeah, going back to the PS2 era, I got my GTA for launch, GTA San Andreas. I pretty much 100% of that, if you can
Vice City for me
100%
was
that
like the
game.
GTA I really loved.
Yeah.
I just played that
San
game.
Andreas is like the GTA that everyone was.
So like everyone says San Andreas, but for me it was Vice City. I just love Vice City.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Just because like the color palette, like,
Yeah.
when you look at it now, it's like, oh, these blocky characters are horrible now. But like, you just like that color palette, the setting, like pretty much the Scarface-esque storyline.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like,
the color
It's
palette,
not
like the
so
GUI, like the UI color
just
palette.
like
so
the
that
like
game
since it was
my
in
favorite
Miami,
game.
like all the
Yeah.
neon and at
Yeah.
night, it looked really awesome.
And the soundtrack.
GTA have always had. GTA 5 had a pretty.
I didn't play Vice City
soundtrack.
as much as I wanted to.
GTA 5 probably didn't have a good soundtrack. I don't know.
Yeah, GTA 5 soundtrack.
4 had an okay soundtrack, but like the other ones had really good. Like San Andreas, Vice City had good ones.
Yeah.
But going back to Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Segway.
the things that it does right is the hacking is fun and simple to use. The gunplay is pretty substandard for not
Yeah.
substandard. It's pretty.
Solid.
It's what you expect from a third-person shooter.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's something about the gunplay in that game.
It's not
that just,
the best. It's definitely not the best.
It doesn't.
I think like the shooting is just like a consequence because like the main thing in Watch Dogs is hacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the hacking is one button. It's not like you have to go X and this and like
It could have been a much more interesting game if it didn't have
gunplay. Yeah, if your only weapon was
If your
hacking,
only weapon was hacking,
and you can melee people,
and you had to sort of try and stealth your way,
Stealth takedowns and stuff.
yeah, that sort of thing. Like a lot more centered on being smart about the way you play, rather than just like giving you the ability to just run in there and just.
I think
gun
like
everyone
for
down
me,
with slow-mo.
like it's a Ubisoft game, so they've got like Assassin's Creed in their back pocket, like what they've.
Yeah.
I feel like Watch Dogs is a turned down version of Assassin's Creed because you can't do as much free running.
Yeah.
I understand because you're not an assassin, whatever, but like you can't do as much climbing up walls. You can't, like the thing with stealth, like in Assassin's Creed, the only way I really want to approach a mission in Assassin's Creed is silently take out everyone.
Yeah.
And if I end up getting seen, I'd rather restart it. Like in Watch Dogs, if you get seen, just go, oh, I'll pull out my grenade launcher and blow half.
Yeah, well, with the thing about Assassin's Creed is you got that extra synchronization challenge that you want to meet. So it's like,
sure.
In the actual thing, Edward Kenway or whoever it is that you're playing as was never spotted during this mission. So if you get that, you get that extra 100% completion. So it's got that thing that players
like
can
would
sort of
want you to
hang on
do it.
Be like,
And Watch Dogs,
I want to get that challenge, but Watch Dogs
is really not like
There's no compulsion to do anything.
No. Like, in Watch Dogs, I did always want to use the silent pistol, the silent weapon.
Yeah, so did I. Because it's smarter.
Because like that's a quicker way of doing things.
Yeah.
Like I think stealth games, it's not really a stealth game, but like it's got stealth elements where you infiltrate an area, you can silently take out people. Like they can call in more reinforcements.
Yeah.
But like going back to why it's probably not the best game, or what's wrong with it is just like the bland side missions for me. Like the fix the side missions, like deliver this car, tail this guy, like.
Really?
It has those cliche things that Assassin's Creed's been doing for years.
Yeah.
Where it has tell this guy, deliver this thing.
So now there's technology.
Seemingly,
But like for the last 4 Assassin's Creed games, but like I mean, I was hoping with Watch Dogs it'd be completely different. I think, and also, the whole time I played it, Watch Dogs, in the back of my mind, I was like, man, I wish I was playing Assassin's Creed 4 again.
Yeah.
For some reason, it was that I'd rather play Assassin's Creed. For some reason, I had no idea why, but I think it's because the story wasn't, I guess, as engaging. Like the Assassin's Creed 4 story is not like overly impressive. It's like I guess because there's so much range and things I guess because you get to use a pirate ship and all this stuff, it adds another layer of gameplay. Like in Watch Dogs, you drive a lot. And you do a mission, you drive a lot to another mission.
And you hack something.
You hack some things. So like for me, like Watch Dogs is a good game. Like it's got its fair ratings at like in the mid 8s, whatever it is.
But what would you rate it?
I'd say it's like an 8.
Yeah.
It's got good gameplay. It's a solid game. It's just not like I wouldn't.
I could probably explain it fairly well for you. I watched a video.
Probably.
I actually watched a video last night, which is very much similar to the symptoms of Watch Dogs. There's this guy on YouTube called Mr. B Tongue or something like that, and he does a lot of good game design breakdowns. I'll link him in the description. Basically, he did this one video on LA Noire. Basically, one of his favorite games, he said, right off the start, was LA Noire. One of his least favorite games for the mechanics was LA Noire. And this is his reasoning for it all. These days in the industry, there's some sort of expected standard of there must be a shooting element. Yeah. There must be a shooting in there. Otherwise, people will think, where's the shooting? Yeah. I haven't shot someone in the last 10 seconds.
Like, going on that point, like, it's true, like, in Watch Dogs, if you're not doing a shooting mission or you're not, like, doing infiltrate, kill these people, like, if you're doing, like, a driving mission, like, the idea is that I'd rather be shooting something.
And he went really well into describing the different, like, sort of, like, mismatches in violence and detective work in LA Noire. Like, this is a game which the devs finally figured out how to make, like, investigating a crime scene rewarding, and finding clues and figuring this out right, really, really engaging and special. And then suddenly this guy who's, very master detective and very, sleuthy and stuff like that, can enter a room and kill 50 guys. Like, this is a police officer who's got, like, a body count in the, hundreds.
Yeah.
What? How does this happen? It's a game.
The disconnect's there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the disconnect. There's an obligatory, like, mafia, killing section or whatever, goon section, and then there's like the very well crafted and very well designed, investigation and sleuthing and stuff like that. If they just had the sleuthing, it'd be a great game, but no one would really, people would be thinking, wait, where's the action?
Yeah.
Where's the? I haven't shot someone yet. Like, what's going on? And that's why I think they shoehorned it in, and that's what I'm thinking about Watch Dogs. They added a lot of that action and shooting and whatever else because people expect that, and they added the side quest because people expect that from an open world game.
When you're saying like it didn't make sense, like what I was saying before, like it kind of made sense for Aiden to kill a lot of people because he's got something riding on the line, but it's not his personally. It's like he's defending his family, like his sister, like it made more sense for him to go out and just kill. It was like the dad, which they don't even explain where the dad is in this game. Like, the kid, I don't get where that is. But like,
you kind of fill in the blanks anyway.
Like, so I think it made more sense. Like, Aiden he's a loner. He has nothing really riding. Like, he's got this family, but like, without them, he could still go on and kill these people. Like, it made like he was that type of character. As bland as he was, it was okay for this like vigilante. He's a vigilante. He was doing these things, killing people, hacking people's privacy and all that stuff. So
Watch Dogs is open world, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So there are some sort of admissions to that. Sort of like if you're going to do an open world, you got to have side missions. Or if you're going to have a game about modern day detective work, there's got to be shooting, like stuff like that. And then like the standard slip and slip until you get every game's very, very similar.
Yeah, like with Watch Dogs, like I only just started playing it again like the other day, just because like I'll give it another chance because I finished the main story. I did most of the side missions. Like I've got no motivation to play this game anymore. Like, I just didn't really want to. But I started playing again and like I went back and did all like the completionist in me wants to try to get everything.
Yeah.
But it's just like if the story is bland, like that's probably for all games. I think if a story is bland, I can't get invested in it.
No motivation to do
No, like, the motivation for me in Watch Dogs is just to collect everything. It's not to see how Aiden's life is after the game. I don't really care. Like,
so people don't really care about that. And
for me, it's a completion side of, like, I want to get 100% in this game, get the platinum. Like, I got 100% in, like, Infamous Second Son, but I cared about Delson more than I did. Because I guess because it was a more human story with powers. I mean, like
stat facial capture.
Oh, that Troy Baker.
Yeah.
The villain in Warcraft 4. Do you know that?
Spoiler.
Screw spoilers. I've said spoilers enough in this episode. But like Watch Dogs recently is one of the games like it's good, but it's flawed in story. The side missions are bland.
A lot wrong with it.
There's a lot wrong with it. And I'll grab that in a second. That is. It's one of those.
Would you think the game would be better without like gratuitous side missions and like shooting and stuff like that, where you're more forced to do like stealth almost 100% of the time, or you get punished?
Well, then I think in that terms, if it was more like a stealthy game, like there'd need to be structure behind that. Like why? Like if you, like I don't. The story is so bland. Like if they could spice the story up by adding these somehow, like why he's doing all this stealth things. Like the story was like bland. Like I cared about like one character in the game. And it was like the chick that dies. Spoilers.
Ah.
A chick dies in the game?
Yeah, man. Chicks die every time.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
But I mean, like, she was like the only character I slightly cared about. Like, I didn't even care about the sister or her kid. I'm like, what? These...
Okay, so you're saying like one of the main problems you had with Watch Dogs is basically you had no investment in the game, so you didn't feel much.
No, like I just couldn't get invested in Aiden or like
Characters in the story.
the story, like just not good enough to engage me. Like the gameplay is good, like really good. Like it's solid gameplay, third-person action with that hacking element. It's good.
Okay.
Like if you put that in another game, I don't know what other game, but like the gameplay was tight. The driving controls were fine. Gunplay is fine. Like using the hacking stuff to get away from police, like power outages. That's all fine. It's just like the gameplay is good. The story, the game,
What's built around.
What's built around, I should say, like it's just not good enough.
Yeah.
That's why. But I still don't understand why I wanted to play Assassin's Creed 4 instead.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next.
Yeah. Move on to my topic,
segment.
I guess. Something announced at E3, like we said, like the alpha, the Destiny alpha. Battlefield beta was announced at E3 for PC and PlayStation. I believe.
That's it.
It was available on the day, and it's currently been extended. I think for a week.
Okay.
At this point, but you said Battlefield Hardline, if you don't know, is like the new Battlefield game from Visceral and EA collaborating together, I guess.
Visceral being the same company that made Dead Space.
Original Dead Space. Did they do 2 as well?
I think so.
Okay. Was it? Yeah, because like Visceral's changed.
I think they did too.
Visceral's changed in terms of personnel, hasn't it, since the first Dead Space, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the Battlefield Hardline is the new Battlefield game, not one of the main series games like Battlefield 4 or anything like that. No. It's not a military-based shooter, it's a cops and robbers-based shooter.
Yeah.
The beta is all about the multiplayer, obviously, but the storyline is more or less you're a cop trying to... Was it something about your dirty partner or something like that?
I'm not too sure on exactly
like
what the storyline is, but the way they're structuring it is
like
kind of like a TV show,
yeah.
episodic campaign kind of thing. I don't know if they're going to bring out episodes
they're going to work
after each other. Or, I think it's probably going to be like Alan Wake in the way that like
it's told.
The whole just the way that it's told and the way that it's presented as like a TV show. But the actual game is all there in the book.
Yeah.
So,
so the Battlefield Hardline, if you didn't see E3, showed off... Well, at E3 they showed off essentially one of the maps was a basic heist mission. Like, one team's cops, one team's robbers. You steal some money from a van, get to 2 certain objectives. Essentially, like, kind of like Capture the Flag, I guess, essentially.
Okay.
yeah.
Capture the
monies. Capture the monies.
Yeah.
Except the cops don't have to capture the money.
They just have to stop them.
Stop the criminals.
So it's like if you can time it.
Time it out.
I think you can. There might be another way to end it quickly. I'm not too sure.
No, I'm pretty sure
Is it just time?
cops just have to time it out.
Time it out.
And criminals just have to get to the 2 objectives.
Yeah, so I like Battlefield Hardline again. It was another first-person shooter. Like for me, like I'd been away from the genre for a while. Like really hadn't played. I played a bit of Ghost and like, and then like really hadn't played any. Like the Destiny Alpha was probably the first first-person shooter I played in a long time.
Yep.
Like that I really wanted to. And I played Battlefield Hardline. I was like, yeah, this is alright.
It's Battlefield.
It's Battlefield. Essentially, it is like they might spin it as it's cops and robbers, but when you on the face of it, it is like Battlefield 4 reskinned as these guys are cops.
It's a texture pack.
Yeah, it's like you could have released this as a expansion pack for Battlefield, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of...
It's kind of a shame. Like, I'm not the biggest Battlefield fan anyway. Like, I'm going to say it, if I'm going to play first-person shooter, it's probably going to be COD. Or if I have the chance, Halo. Like, Battlefield's just not been the most appealing to me. Mm-hmm. I know it's appealing to a lot of other people. Mm-hmm. I don't mind it, but I don't think I could just get like hardcore into Battlefield. Like I played like So I play going along with Hardline. It's you're in a squad of 3, I think, teams of 8, I think, in the heist missions anyway. So one team starts at one side of the map, one team starts there. So playing as the cops was.
I'm pretty sure teams were 16v16.
I can't. Maybe it was just squads of 8 and then teams of 16. I can't remember.
Or squads of 4 and then 6.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's 4.
Maybe because I just didn't have enough.
And then 16
Maybe I just didn't have enough people to.
on each side, 32.
Yeah, sure. But like, yeah, it was nothing to me. Nothing special. Like it was. Yeah, Battlefield, cool. I get to feel special because I'm in the beta.
Yeah. Was there another game mode other than Heist?
There was another one. I can't remember what it was called, but it was essentially. You got to there was a point where you just try to rob money and then take it back to I don't know what game type.
So it's like a central point in the map with money.
Yeah, and then you
both
bring
teams trying.
Like the cops are defending that. I think there's cops again.
There's cops and robbers. I think the way it goes is central point.
Oh no, like they both have the
cash.
point they can take it back to.
They have to try and take the 5 million. I'm pretty sure it's 5 million. Back to their own bases, and you can actually steal the money from their home base and bring it to
so that game type was again...
That's pretty fun.
Again, that game type is I don't know what that's similar to, I guess. I guess you could even say it's another capture the flag, you just take the flag back, or you're bringing your flag. And,
you capture parts of the flag. And
and
the one with the most flags.
It's actually quite similar to a WildStar game type.
Yeah.
In PvP and WildStar, which is another MMO that came out recently, kind of
Is that
similar to World of Warcraft. No, not free to play, subscription based. In PvP, it was kind of similar. They had a mask spawned in the middle of the map. Both players fight over that mask, bring it back to their home base. The masks keep spawning. You have to collect 5 out of 5. But the other team could steal the masks from your home base and bring it to their home base. So essentially the same thing.
Okay, sure.
Was going on there.
Right.
I'm not quite sure what to call that game mode other than
it'd be like in the Battlefield example, it'd be like capture the flag, except you'd be capturing 5 million flags.
Yeah, and then you could also capture the stuff from their home base onto yours.
Capture the stuff.
Yeah, capture the stuff that's constantly there.
Yeah. So those were the 2 game modes available in the beta. Of classic Battlefield, different classes, a slew of different vehicles to use. Well, not really. There's for cops, there's an armored. There's obviously a helicopter. There's an armored truck.
Yeah.
There's a heavily armored other truck or something like that that has guns and stuff and turrets.
Right.
And just a slew of fast sports cars or whatever, to get you in bikes.
And it still has the Levolution, right?
On the one map they had in the beta, the crane would come down and destroy half the level. And there was another section where you could blow out a piece of the road.
Yeah.
But no one ever seemed to do that. Everyone just go, let's just blow up the crane.
Yeah.
But I went and blew up the road because no one else was doing it. It didn't really affect any gameplay though. But I mean, no one used it to their advantage or anything like that. The crane, I feel was just an annoyance. I got crushed by the crane a couple of times. Being a beta was it wasn't perfect. There's a bit of there's lag and there's
weird hit detection.
Weird hit detections, things just going. Ugh.
I heard a lot that in the Hardline beta, and I think a lot of Battlefield games, they have the server tick rate fairly low. And server tick rate basically means that's how many times the server requests information from you per second. So if it's got a low tick rate, it means that if you shoot someone, you have a slower delay between that information registering.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a higher one means that the server will always be on top of whatever's happening at any time. And so these latest games have had a low tick rate, and so that's been a lot of the problems that people have attributed to netcode and stuff like that, with things not registering or things registering really late or apparent lag. It's also tied to the tick rate of the server, and that might also be an issue with this game.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Going a bit for a Battlefield. If I want to compare Battlefield and Destiny for a bit here, I played them at the same time. One looks much better than the other.
Yeah.
That being Destiny.
Yeah.
And I know it's an alpha, but I'd say that's pretty much what the beta is, but it's going to be more in the Destiny beta.
Yeah.
But Destiny looks much better. I think maybe just because of the visual styling. Battlefield has its own distinct look.
Yeah.
I understand, and
I think they also
I'm guessing it's
thing,
in the
thing with
Battlefield.
Battlefield is just that like there's just heaps more players in the one.
Yeah, there's a lot more
area
stuff
at the one
going on,
times.
yeah.
They got to kind of
Yeah.
tone down the.
If I was going to
Graphics
buy,
ability,
if I was going to buy like a modern popular shooter, it would probably be Battlefield. But then I don't like Battlefield because I play Counter-Strike 2. Because that's just like Battlefield, except in space,
Except bigger and better.
and much more players per server, much more players per fight, much more variety.
Yeah,
So
you
I
should
just
play
that.
PlanetSide 2.
Is that free to play?
Yeah,
Free to play
free to play.
on PS4, coming
and
to
PS3?
PS4 as well.
Coming to PS4 and PC
And
right now.
Yeah.
I thought it was on PS3 at the moment. Is it not?
No,
No.
it's just coming to PS4 and PC. On PS4, it's actually going to look a lot better than PC because they're using new shaders and they're going to roll it out to PC as well.
PS4.
Eventually. But yeah, they actually had a few tests with the PS4 servers on PlanetSide 2 at E3, and that ran pretty well.
Cool.
All of new players. Actually, been seeing a lot of new players in PC version. People
When's
played
the
it. Yeah.
PS4 version coming in?
Fairly soon.
Okay.
I'd say within the
Wait
month.
till, yeah,
Oh, really?
towards it. Oh, really?
I'd say.
Oh, okay.
It seems to be in a position where that's the case.
Like, yeah, second half of this year.
I guess to wrap up on Battlefield, the Hardline. Overall impressions, yeah, it's more Battlefield.
Yeah.
You like that stuff?
If you like
Battlefield, sure. If you're suffering a lot of Battlefield 4 server issues and all their brokenness, I guess.
if you're pissed off that EA is basically recycling Battlefield 3 for like
Is it the Battlefield 3 game?
3 years,
Oh, well, yeah.
Then-
4.
don't play it.
Well,
Because it's just going to make you
like, the
more
only
mad.
thing that might make me want to play the overall game is maybe how good their story might be. Like, how much that single player might
I'm
be.
actually, like, the single player is probably the only aspect of Battlefield Hardline that I'm actually properly interested in.
You reckon?
Yeah, because it seems to be, like, I'm a fan of the whole TV episodic
Sure.
kind of format of story and gameplay. And it also seems like they're kind of going for a bit more of a, what's the word? Kind of a bit more of an open approach to levels. You know how...
Yeah.
Did you play the Battlefield 3 or 4 campaign at all?
Battlefield 3 a little bit.
Yeah? You know how that was basically corridor
Yeah.
shooting, right? Battlefield Hardline seem to be going in the direction of...
Do what you want,
you're given an open space with a bunch of enemies dot around doing their patrols and all whatnot. This is from what I've seen anyway.
It's interesting.
And you scout out the area. You can sort of spot enemies with your binoculars, and then you sort of pick and choose the way you want to tackle the problem. So you can go up on the roof and snipe some enemies. You can just run
Stealth.
in there and just kill everyone, or
Okay.
you could stealth it and literally not be
Avoid,
seen by
yeah.
any enemies and just sort of Metal Gear Solid your way through there.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, it's given a bit more choice to the player. It's,
yeah.
it's sort of opening up the play space and having that extra level of being able to control the game the way you want it to be and how you want to play the story.
Yep.
Is interesting to me, and I hope that Visceral will do a good job.
Yeah, like,
Visceral are also
It's very good
storytellers.
writing,
and
so hopefully it's fine.
they
Good.
they do single player games well.
Yeah.
Visceral.
Dead Space.
Dead Space is a great
clear
game.
example of that.
So yeah, I am looking forward to the single player, see what they do there. But
But, like,
multiplayer,
Meh.
Battlefield.
Going off, like the beta is. I think they've opened it up a bit for an extra week, like I said before. But it's more Battlefield,
Yeah.
skinned with cops and robbers. It's fun if you're into Battlefield. Like, I found it okay. Like, it's enjoyable at points, but like when it's like with the cops and robbers scene, like the robbing team can win like within minutes of the game starting.
you can win a game in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, but
It's
being
strange that there's a disparity between like the actual objectives. Like the robbers can end the game as early as they want. The cops, being able to win, have to draw out the game as much as long as they can.
That's only in that one game type thing.
Is it?
Yeah, because Blood Money is one.
Is that the other
Blood
one?
Money being
Okay.
the
Oh, yeah, the capture
being
puff,
the
graves.
capture stuff.
Yeah.
That is only one when
Or-
either the time runs out or one
Someone has the
team
most money.
captures 5 million and
Yeah.
the other team has
That's like
none.
nothing.
Oh, okay, right.
So yeah, but the highest one, cops have to run the timer out.
Okay.
I feel like that's
Otherwise,
annoying.
robbers-
That would be
That's
annoying.
annoying.
Like, if
Yeah.
say if you get stuck in a game with a lot of people who don't know how to play, or a lot of people who are really good, and you're sick of it, you're stuck with it the whole match if you're a cop. If you want to win,
I think
And,
being,
that would be straight. You just leave the game.
the problem I had. I think people are approaching it as just normal Battlefield. They're not focusing on the objective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't played the beta, have you?
No, I have.
Oh, have you? Okay. I think a lot of people are just stuck in that mentality. Oh, let's just kill everyone and we'll win the game.
Team
Like,
deathmatch, right, guys?
but I'm like, you say you played it. You know, like the objective on the top of the building.
Yeah.
Like that one just gets done so easily.
No,
I should say
a couple
that-
times that I've played it, like
It takes a while, but
being a cop, we've
Gets
just
hung up
chop
there.
it up there,
Yeah.
and then like 5 of us just sit in the stairwell and just like camp
Yeah.
it, and they can't unless they get a chopper up there.
but like sometimes like everyone's
Can't really
like
get
just
in.
mucking around and like they just go take the elevator and win.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. You know, I've been in a match where the game started, they've blown the doors off the vans, grabbed the money, and immediately just got in a car, driven to the first objective because no one's there or no one's stopping them. Get the first one straight away, and then like other teams already halfway to the skyscraper. So
Yeah.
it gets ended after 2 minutes.
And like the other objective is like such an easy one. The game doesn't end. The game will end only when both are captured. Yeah. Also.
Yeah.
But I mean, the one on the ground is just like everyone just goes, "Oh, done."
Mhm.
That one's like the easiest.
Yeah.
And I feel like why is that one so easy and this one's like so sometimes very difficult? Like you have to go up the sky. Like you can use elevators. Whoa. In the game.
Well,
Yeah, but
Battlefield.
it's so good.
Mm.
But I don't understand. You can't shoot down an elevator. Like people just get in. It's like see ya. See ya.
Sounds like a lot of
That's-
shooters that I play. That's like
Those
a syndrome.
elevators are just so stupid. It's like you get in, press the button, the doors close, and you sit there, and all of a sudden it just teleports you to like.
Yeah, I think that was the
top,
bad.
and
It's
then
obviously
you're like,
they haven't even just like
You don't even. You
don't see like a
move,
number
you just,
change.
You just
I mean,
teleport.
like being the beta, I'm sure they can add that touch in.
That's the same way the Battlefield 4's elevators work. So they're not going
really?
to change it. You
Oh,
know.
wow, I
You
never
just
played that
get in,
before.
the doors close, you wait like 5 seconds, and then you teleport to the top. That's how it
Oh.
works. They don't move.
Oh, damn.
That's annoying.
That's
Maybe it's like
next gen.
It must be like a physics constraint on the
Oh yeah,
on the
they're,
game.
like they're just cutting corners as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, it gets the job done. I guess it makes you feel like you're in an elevator. You got to wait for a few seconds.
It'd be
and
nice
then
if it
you're
actually
there.
acted like an elevator.
Yeah, and then like you can shoot the cable. and
Are there any
stuff.
That would be so much. That would be awesome. Like you could be at the top of the building, like the
Shoot
enemy's
the
coming,
cables.
shoot the cables out, and then the only other way could be like grappling up the building. or
But then,
something.
like as soon as the game started, you could just go into that thing, shoot the cables,
Sure.
make sure no one could ever use the.
but say you need like
that
cable
would happen every time.
things. Like you need something like to actually like not just a
And that's only unlocked after a certain part in the.
so we're making Battlefield better, EA.
Yeah. Listen to us.
See,
Listen
this.
to our stupid suggestions.
Yeah,
and
cutting
make the
cables and
cutting cables and making the game better.
Yeah,
realistic.
but like
Make it realistic.
everyone
Make it
who plays
realistic.
a shooter is going to just go, oh, this is a team deathmatch, no matter what it's going to be. So
Yeah,
that's always going to
They
be
always
like
go
that.
for the kills.
To me,
Happen in Destiny as well.
Happens
Yeah.
in PlanetSide 2. In
Yeah.
PlanetSide 2, basically, you have to, where there's bases all over the map, you've got to capture the bases by standing on the points. Nobody stands on the points. They just run around the base looking for people to kill.
If you're killing people and it like actually serves the purpose of you like getting to that point and like defending it, sure. But if you're just like not even focused on the objective,
Yeah.
if you're just going, oh, no
Running
more.
around killing people. For
It's just like, we could get more points if we
Yeah.
win the match. And I'm MVP, but like, we lost the game, so
Yeah.
you're an idiot. So like, what difference does it make?
MVP is like the worst thing sometimes. It just
No, I don't think
encourages
they get. Call of Duty maybe just sort of it. I think they do.
Battlefield plays it.
But,
I've been playing that.
yeah.
Is that pretty much it for Battlefield?
pretty
Yeah,
much
don't
it for
play.
Battlefield.
We could segue pretty cleanly to like games we've been playing. 'Cause
Sure,
I've been
I guess we
playing- Yeah.
How much
And-
time have we been running?
I don't know. We'll just end on like what we're playing, I guess, and
Yeah.
give it a sec. What have I been playing?
Yeah.
I guess a lot of FIFA. It's a lot of FIFA.
I've seen you on the PS4 network
It's like
getting your FIFA
getting
trials.
my FIFAs on. I play a lot of FIFA. I think just the influence of the World Cup. It's like
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
A bit of Watch Dogs now again. Not a lot really other than that. Kind of excited for. I'm into racing games like Grid Autosport's coming out in a couple of days or sometime early next week, and I enjoy racing games, so I'll probably get that on Steam for like $40 odd.
Yeah.
But there's not been a lot of things. I haven't played any of the I haven't like Trine came out, and Pixel Jump Shooter.
Oh, yeah,
I got those for free. I played them a little bit. Probably should sink some time. Sink to the Man. Probably should play a bit more of that.
Secret to the Man's good.
Yeah. I wanted to get that Entwine game, but I just haven't got around to doing it. And Transistor
That's
and
pretty
Child of
rare,
Light.
too.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
games I want to get to that I haven't played yet.
Yeah.
Because I have no money.
Same with me.
What about you, Shane?
Yeah, so what have you been playing?
I just play a lot of the very similar games. Like I switch between PlanetSide 2 and then Tribes. I used to play Tribes a lot. Tribes Ascend, dead game. And then I got sick of like playing that and then Loadout and stuff like that because they're all shooters and they're all competitive, and I don't like playing competitive games. Even though I play them most of the time, like I need a break from that, I guess.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so I went and bought Battleblock Theatre.
Oh, yeah.
Which is competitive in some ways, but in other ways it's very cooperative and very funny.
Yeah.
It's basically what it is.
Stamp is great to listen to.
Stamper, exactly. Stamper, it voices the narrator, and it's actually what I like about the game. One of the most things that there's a slider for how much the narrator talks, and it goes from shut up to blabbermouth, and so I put it always on blabbermouth. It's just so funny to listen to.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, basically Battleblock Theatre, if you guys never heard of it, it's a game made by Behemoth. So the same guys who brought you Alien Hominid and Castle Crashers. They make really great games, and Dan Paladin, the guy who does the art, has come back and done great stuff here. Like it looks really cute, really funny, and really like good to look at. And basically what it is like you can play the story mode, which basically has you run through a course, like an obstacle course, and collect gems to reach the exit in a short enough time, and then you progress with the story. You can do that with one other player as well, like online. You can play online co-op, which makes it even more fun and more hilarious because like you can stuff up your friend. Like they'll be making a jump, like you'll be holding out your hand to pull them up, then you pull them up and throw them into a spike or something like that. Like it's got like little comedic effects like that. It's all built around like friendly rivalry, I guess. And then you bring it onto arena mode, which is basically you're competing against each other in teams. Like up to 4 players in that, and there's games like soccer, except not really soccer. It's like more like basketball. It's like you kick the ball around, then you grab it and throw it in a hoop. I don't know. And then there's like the typical game types like King of the Hill and stuff like that. But the onus of this game is all around fun and mischief, and they pulled it off really well. And it's such a fun game to play. I've actually got it. If you guys want to give it a shot after. Yeah.
So is that?
I've been playing Hearthstone a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that good?
Yeah,
I really want to. I want to get
enjoy
into
it.
Hearthstone.
I just enjoy
What is it?
Are you playing on PC?
beating people. Yeah, PC. So yeah,
Card game.
I like card games. I enjoy card games. Magic's it's very similar to Magic, so and Magic's a fun game to play, and it's great fun to win. So I've been playing that a lot, getting my Hunter up the ranks. Hunter's pretty much the only class I play. Not because of Unleash the Hounds, but because I just enjoy Hunter class in Warcraft
In every game.
anyway.
In every game,
and
Destiny as
every
well.
game Destiny as well. So Hunter's
D&D.
right now. Yes, and D&D.
Hunter and everything.
So I've been playing Hearthstone a lot, and I have WildStar. I bought that.
Yeah, you did.
I'm up to level 25, but I haven't really played it that much recently.
25 good.
I mean, the
halfway,
level cap
isn't it?
50. It's halfway.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
So, I like WildStar is a great game. It's in terms of aesthetic and attitude. It's basically Ratchet and Clank MMO.
Yeah.
The color palette is very similar. The characters and the animations and the world and the humor is very similar. So
Yep.
if you like Ratchet and Clank, you're a fan of that style, then check out WildStar. It's, and if you like MMOs, obviously. If you don't, then don't worry about it. But I love MMOs,
Cool.
so I go for that, even though I know exactly what they are. So I've been playing a bit of WildStar, but I haven't played it that much recently. Just been working a lot, so I haven't really had that much time to sink in. Because I know that if I'm going to play it, I need to kind
time,
of sit
sure.
down
Yeah,
and,
sure.
and play it.
Can't play for like half
I
an hour or
don't.
something.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really have that much time these days. Anyway, watching too much World Cup and work.
Yeah.
Yeah, the World Cup. Go.
So that's why I'm playing.
France.
I play.
That's not a big job.
I play Hearthstone in the meantime, just because you can get a game done in like 5.
Well, I guess you could
minutes.
like watch World Cup while playing Hearthstone.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
that's why I've been.
I wanted to get into Hearthstone. There was one point like, I want to get into Hearthstone, and then something else happened, and I didn't start playing it.
You should.
Yeah, I probably should.
It's fun.
Got that Battle.net account
If you
again.
Is it
like
free?
card games, yeah, free to play. You just download it.
Just down. I think you can pay for stuff, aren't you?
You can pay for card packs
Yeah,
if you want
sure.
to, but you don't have to.
to.
I haven't spent a cent on the game, and I've been enjoying
Do you verse
myself
people
and
online?
winning.
Or
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
can
all
you
the
verse
time.
like AI?
Yeah, you can verse AI,
Oh, cool.
but it's more
Obviously
fun to verse
more
people.
all actual people, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll
So,
bless
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
And
do
beat
it. No.
First go.
I have
Like my
built-
first go.
First go.
First
I have
go.
built the ultimate hunter deck.
Yeah, and I'll go with a noob
Hunter
deck
dick.
and just beat you
Hunter
straight up.
dick.
Good.
Hunter dick.
That's
That's one of the cards.
That's how it's pronounced. Yeah. They just ram you.
Yeah, it just rams your life points.
You're like, "Ugh."
But that's
Okay,
we
so
have to
that's-
talk-
So-
on that note.
That's the,
Oh, no, we'll leave it there.
So, thanks for listening to and watching the Tomato Sauce podcast. That was probably like the more the structure we want to follow. 3 topics each week around this table.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Shane lets us.
And we're not going to bang the table as much either.
We'll try not to.
We'll try not to.
But yeah,
But I mean, like, yeah, each week we'll come bring a topic, each discuss it for you or us. Doesn't matter.
yeah.
If you want to follow us on the Twitters, Zach is.
At Zach Lift Games. Don't worry about it if you don't.
You should do it.
You should, but I don't care.
Shane's at.
At Data Crash, we'll just put that in the videos. You can
I'll
click
put
on
it somewhere, and I'm
Yeah.
at Olstrom23. You can follow us there if you want to. For some reason, I don't know why they follow any of us really.
Oh, I'm pretty interesting. So follow me. Those guys, not as
I'm
much.
subpar interesting,
Okay.
so don't worry.
I've got 90
I can
followers.
vouch for that.
So 90 followers. This guy.
Anyway, thanks for watching,
Thanks for
guys.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
See you next week.
All right.